Hey everyone, yep, time for another video. It's Jay back here with you. Now, this is going to be sort of a different video because most of the videos that I've done here previously have been sort of with a fun feel. This one really doesn't have too much of a fun feel. This is more of an informative video. I'm going to be talking a lot about consolidation. Now, for those who really don't know the specifics about my job, let me sort of just very quickly let you know where things are as far as me and my relationship with the radio stations. Of course, I'm Jay Montana. I'm the program director for the three stations that we have, Big Country 101, Mix 104, and The Cross. That basically means anything that you hear over the air is basically my responsibility. Everything pretty much comes back on me. And I don't take that job lightly. Anybody that really works with me knows that I'm very anal, I guess would be a good word for it. When it comes to the way that the stations should sound. We had some technical issues a couple of weeks ago. Those have since been addressed and finally fixed. I was basically a basket case going through that just because that's my responsibility, and I don't have any technical expertise as to how to fix problems like that. And with our engineer passing away very quickly a couple of weeks ago, we're still sort of in that limbo stage. So that's just at least how my relationship with the radio stations is. Now, as far as this consolidation mess, I consider it a mess just because of how it's very confusing for a lot of people. But as most people know, Big Al, who is the morning show host with Big Country 101, is very much pro-consolidation. He has taken to Facebook, said some things on the air, very pro-consolidation, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. But now, as far as my stance on consolidation, I am the exact opposite. I don't think Al and I could be any further from the middle, when it comes to agreement on consolidation. I'm very much against consolidation. Now, I'm not going to tell you, any reasoning. The way I look at it is my thoughts are my thoughts, and, if I wanted to share that, I would, but there's more involved in this video than my specifics as to why I believe consolidation is wrong for this area. And that's pretty much going to be the last that I talk fairly, I guess, in depth about that in this video. And I don't really plan on taking it to Facebook. I don't plan on doing any more videos relating to consolidation as far as my thoughts on it. But I do want to let everybody know that as far as the radio stations as a whole, Big Country 101, Mix 104, and The Cross, these three stations do not have an official opinion on consolidation, whether or not it's good or bad for this area. The stations are out there as an information source and also as sort of an entertainment venue. And I think as a whole, we do reasonably well, considering how short-staffed we are. We had the consolidation forums a couple of weeks ago that we carried on Big Country 101. I wish we could have done it on Mix 104, but they had 3 meetings at the same time. Again, very short-staffed. There was just no feasible way that we could broadcast, at least on the 2 FMs, the consolidation forums. There was no feasible way to do that, unfortunately. So we just focused on Big Country 101, and I think that the forums went very well as far as the way we covered them. But that's basically as far as the individual stations goes. That's as far into it as we're going to get. Yes, we're here to inform, but we are not, as radio stations, trying to sway one person, or anybody for that matter, one way or the other. Now, as far as individuals, we all, of course, have our own thoughts, our own ideas as to whether or not consolidation is good or bad for this area. Big Al, again, the morning show host on Big Country 101, very much pro-consolidation. Me being very much against consolidation. I just want to let everybody know there's absolutely no friction between Al and myself, with our differences, strong differences of opinion on consolidation. I say this because of things that were posted on Facebook last night that quite honestly made me a little angry. Not at Al, not at any one individual person, but I get angry when it comes to a point where we cannot, as individuals, as members of the community, as members of a society, we cannot have a civil conversation about an important issue. I think that's just simply wrong. We've heard it for years. You know, we live in the greatest country in the world. I fully believe that's true, because we are free to have discussions. You go to different parts of the world, if you have discussions like this, you're shot and killed. It's not like that here, at least for the most part. It's not like that here. You know, if you're shot and killed because of your thoughts, well, you're more than likely taken to court and thrown in jail. But in other parts of the world, it's not like that. And I think we need to remember that the United States is built on a foundation of people, of citizens, being able to share opinions, whether you agree with them or not, with other people. Now, yeah, Big Al and I, very, very different thoughts, very different opinions on this issue. But I would consider myself a failure as a person, as the program director of the radio stations, to not allow somebody to share their thoughts. I took over for Big Al when he left Hot Country back in 2000, WXCF. And then we were lucky enough to get it back 2006 or 2007, I believe is what it was. And he's been with WIQO Big Country ever since. But as radio personalities, it's very important for the higher-ups to afford the DJs what's called creative control, which is basically an open-ended ticket to talk about anything, to basically do anything that they want to do. As long as it's decent, you know, as long as it's family-friendly, is the way I look at it. And that's what makes good radio. You know, people are talking about consolidation in part because of Big Al's opinion. And though our opinions strongly differ, there's no way that I would ever even remotely consider censoring Big Al or anybody. It's not my place. I would never do that. Big Al's thoughts are his thoughts. He has every right to it, just like you have every right to yours, just like I have every right to mine. People will share their thoughts and opinions differently. I was sort of always trained, if you will, to try and stay away from two topics: politics and religion. Because everybody has their own opinions on each. And when you think about it, everybody's opinion, nobody's wrong. Because they're opinions, their thoughts, their ideas. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with sharing those ideas with anybody you want. Now, if you don't agree with those ideas, it's simple. You tune them out. You don't take to Facebook and be accusatory, start pointing fingers. Well, you're wrong, I'm right. Well, you're uneducated and all this. There's no room for that. We're better as a people. We're better as a society. We just need to have more civil conversations and allow differences of opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. I defend Big Al. I don't agree with his opinion, but I defend his right to share his opinion with anybody that he wants. You have the same rights, as does he. I'll leave you with this. November 8th. I really don't care how you vote, whether you're pro-consolidation or whether you're against. Just go to the polls on November 8th and cast your vote. I would love to see, when the final numbers are tallied, that at least 95% of the voting public here in Allegheny County and the city of Covington, 95%, I would love that number to be on there, that 95% of the eligible people that could vote did. This is a big enough issue.